Now, as our journey begins, let me introduce you to my co-host and the host of the Tonight Show, Mr. Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, hey there. You made it. Welcome to the Universal Studio Tour. I'm Jimmy Fallon. I'll be making sure that you get through this experience in one piece. You've got the very best guide.
Mike.
And the greatest driver.
Diego.
They're the best. I love them. Even though
Mike.
owes me $5. I know you guys are excited to get on the tour, but first, a few safety rules.
Thank you, Jimmy. Okay, folks, here are the safety rules. First, if you need any guest assistance or have a medical emergency, or if you drop something of value off the side of the tram, or you have any sound or video issues, reach up, grab that red emergency cord, runs along the center of the ceiling of the tram. I will be back to assist you as soon as it is safe to do so. Otherwise, during the entire tour, please remain seated, keeping your arms and legs inside the vehicle at all times. Our studio is private property. Anytime during the tour you drop your phone or you just cannot wait to use the restroom, for a couple of examples, pull the cord to remain seated. I do want you to know if we are in an animation and something would drop out, just for safety purposes, we are never allowed to get out of the tram in an animation. Please no smoking of any kind during the tour. Be prepared. Our tour today features loud noises, fire effects, and many water effects, so you may get wet. We will also experience sudden tram movements, so secure your personal belongings and hold on. Finally, for your safety and those around you, please do not use selfie sticks while you are on board. That's it for the safety rules. All right, headed to the front line via our Universal movie timeline. Posters on the right represent a few of the thousands of movies we've entertained you with. Keep looking on your right. This is a real fire station. Fire Station 51. We salute the firefighters and the first responders. We so appreciate what they all do on a daily basis. That fire station, named after the fire station you would have seen in the popular NBC TV series Emergency, that aired back in the 1970s.
Dang,
Now the first soundstage is coming up on the left. Soundstage 12, the birthplace of the Universal Monsters. A little more recently, Stage 12, where Taylor Swift filmed the music video for her song, Me. And on your screen, some of the movies that have also used Soundstage 12.
That's stage number 12. Do you want to film
Now, we always start out with an empty soundstage, and then when the production moves in, we will build whatever sets are needed for that project. Pre-production, get everything ready. Production, you film. Post-production, put the project together. We have a row of sound stages on your left, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. Look on the left, the elephant door to stage 11's cracked open. You can peek in there. Also 10 and 9. We call these doors elephant doors because when they're open wide, well, they are big enough to move an elephant inside or outside the sound stage. If you need an elephant for your production, another elephant door opens, stage 8. You know, sound stages 8 and 7 on the left were used for the Peacock streaming series Bel Air with Jabari Banks, Ollie Sholaton, Coco Jones. That series is wrapped, but the fourth and final season, currently streaming on Peacock. Our studio has been home to another Peacock streaming series, The Paper, starring Domhnall Gleeson. Here are a couple of the other stars on the show, Chelsea Fry and Oscar Nunez.
Hi, Studio Tour.
We're here on the lot where we filmed The Paper, which follows our characters' day-to-day lives as employees of a struggling newspaper, the Toledo Truth-Teller.
That's right. Unlike many other TV shows, The Paper uses multiple cameras and a variety of shot types and movements to give our show a true documentary feel.
Because the camera is always around whenever we're on the set, it's important that we stay in character.
Yeah, Oscar, what's your favorite part of working on the lot?
I wasn't expecting you to ask me that question. You know what? I love being around talented, wonderful, hilarious people. I also get to work with Chelsea Fry. How about you, Chelsea? What's your favorite?
Oh, I love waving to the trains.
Oh, probably stop waving now.
No, it's fine.
Yeah?
Yes, try. It's great.
The Paper, currently streaming on Peacock. The first season episodes also air Monday nights, 8:30 p.m. on NBC. But we have more Frontlot sound stages coming up on the right. On the right, we're going to be next to sound stages 16, 17, 18, and 19. Currently, 16, 17, some of the sound stages used for the fifth season of the Emmy-winning Hacks, starring Gene Smart. Coming up on the right, stages 18, 19, that's where the Paper filmed. After they finished in 18, 19, another upcoming Peacock streaming series, The 5-Star Weekend with Jennifer Garner, moved in. We also used stage 19 for a scene in our Academy Award-winning Best Picture of the Year, Oppenheimer, the Oval Office scene where Gary Oldman plays President Harry Truman. On the left, the base camp for Hacks. Every production has a base camp where you put the production vehicles. You try to keep the base camp close to where your production will film. Trucks hold lighting equipment, sound equipment, props, and the like. Keep looking on your left. Look who's standing by car 1. Ted. He's celebrating. He also has a show on Peacock. Ted, executive produced, directed by Seth MacFarlane. Notice behind Ted, smaller buildings, production bungalows.
Yeah.
In these bungalows, some of Hollywood's top writers, directors, producers come up with ideas for a script. So that would be in the pre-production phase. Some of the production companies you're going to find in the bungalows on the left include Mark Platt Productions, who brought us Wicked in movie theaters last year. And this year you can see the worldwide blockbuster hit Wicked for Good.
Goodbye, Dorothy. Bye, Dodo. It's just that one road the whole time.
Bro. What a touching display.
Shiz.
I scare you?
I'm a public figure now. People expect me to lie. Be encouraging.
Are you crazy?
We couldn't be happier than all your dreams. Please, where'd you get that?
Don't miss Wicked for Good, only in theaters, including our very own Universal Cinema on CityWalk. Check out the Wicked for Good poster when you exit the tram and scan the QR code for a special ticket offer from Fandango. All right, last 2 sound stages. You'll see on the front lot will be on the left, but they're going to be in the back of this complex. Left side in the back, stage 25. Right side in the back, stage 26. Both used for the NBC comedy St. Denis Medical with David Allen Greer, Wendy McClendon-Covey, and Allison Tolman. St. Denis Medical airs 8 p.m. Monday nights, NBC. Great hour of comedy. 8 p.m. St. Denis Medical. 8:30, The Paper. Well, at this point, we're going to say farewell to the front lot and welcome you to our back lot. Look up ahead on the left, the Metropolitan sets. Now, these buildings are facades, front and side of the building. Nothing inside or on the back, a facade. We're not able to drive through the metro sets today because if you look to your left, you see on this west end of New York Street, they're doing some pre-production. Over the years, a lot of productions have made our metro sets look like New York City. New York City plays a very big role in the story of King Kong. That's where the story begins, New York City, 1930s. Well, we are now headed up to King Kong, 363D. Here's the Academy Award-winning director of Universal's 2005 film version of King Kong, Mr. Peter Jackson.
It's the original King Kong that made me want to direct movies. I saw that movie on TV when I was about 8 or 9 years old.
It's boring, but
I wanted to become a
that's
filmmaker. I like films that just take you away from your real life and sweep you up an adventure. Kong literally does that.
All right, folks, adventure awaits us. Please remain seated and hold on. Let's head back to Skull Island.
So true.
I don't. That is really dark in here.
Okay, glasses on, everybody. Back to Skull Island.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
Yeah. Remind me of a pile of nuts.
Accurate.
Ladies and gentlemen, King Kong 360 3D. That epic battle was projected on some of the world's largest digital 3D screens, standing over 40 feet tall, 180 feet long, and it utilizes some of the most advanced technology in filmmaking today. Well, you may take off the glasses, set them aside, and we're going to have you drop them in the bins at the end of the tour when we get to unload. Thank you very much for doing that. We try to use every available inch on the studio lot for projects. You know, our NBC comedy St. Dennis Medical, very good example. Well, we know they can film indoor scenes inside stages 25, 26 on the front lot, and then if they want, they cross right over to our back lot and film outdoor scenes in the metropolitan set area. When St. Dennis Medical films here, their base camp is on the left, where you see these trucks. Since we've been talking about St. Dennis Medical, please take a look at the show.
Welcome to St. Dennis Medical Center.
St. Dennis Regional Medical.
I have access to some really good stuff, and I will hook you up.
Yeah.
No, man. That was a test.
Like the Avengers, you know?
We're not supposed to have the immigrations, but we do.
I almost don't want them to get better.
Pale, kind of blotchy.
It's the other one.
Oh my God, that's much worse. Wow.
You know, when we entered the back lot, we were on the west end of the metro sets. We are now headed toward the east end. So you get a really good idea how large our metropolitan set area really is. We have coming up a big base camp area that is being used currently for NBC's The Voice. So season 28 finale is coming on this Monday. Top 6 singers will be performing, and then the America votes, and then you find out who America has chosen as the season 28 winner of The Voice. Great coaches, Michael Bublé, Niall Horan, Reba McEntire, and Snoop Dogg.
They teach you how to
Now,
sing.
as we pull up, we just have a little bit of a traffic jam ahead of us here. We're going to have you look up ahead. You can see the big numbers on the left, 32, 33. Well, right next to those, stages 30 and 31, those are used by NBC's The Voice. Here's someone you'll recognize as a current coach of The Voice.
Hey there, Studio Tour. I'm Snoop Dogg from The Voice. We tape our show right here in stage 30 and 31. in the heart of the Universal backlot. These state-of-the-art sound stages allow us to bring every round of our show to life, from the blind auditions to the live finale, and everything in between.
Make some noise! We know what America wants. Prima socks, baby! Yo, you should see the underwear I'm wearing.
NBC's The Voice. Now remember, we try to use every available inch on the studio lot for projects. So this area not only has the Metropolitan sets on your left-hand side, but just about ready on the right, you're going to see our monster mural created by artist Tristan Eaton. Here's a little look.
Thou shalt rise again.
So this mural, just brilliantly put together, honors Dracula, the Bride of Frankenstein, Frankenstein monster, creature from the Black Lagoon, and the Wolfman. Tristan Eaton used 54 different colors and over 800 cans of spray paint to create this magnificent monster mural.
How many cans?
Over 800.
Archive. Going there, I got to see in person props from the movies, photos from behind the scenes, original illustrations from those movie posters, all the stuff. I had an early affection for movie monsters. I was always fascinated by the magic behind making movies. But I fell in love with zombie movies and monster movies as a young kid.
The traffic isn't
My world that I come from is skateboarding, graffiti, and comic books. You always have to pay homage to where that art form started. And for me, it started with painting stuff in the street illegally, tagging billboards and dumpsters. Without that, I never would be here doing spray painting like this.
And here's a big overview of the monster mural. And again, it's just coming up. It's almost right on our right side. Just as we're able to pull up the road, you'll be able to see the whole thing. So get your cameras out and you get a nice photograph of it. So as you look around, you see we're on the south end of the metro sets on the left. This whole area, then we start at the west end, we're head to the east. This all can be used for a base camp, especially if you're going to be using the metro sets for filming. And as I mentioned, that big base camp for The Voice coming up on the left side. But I do want you to notice, coming up on the right side, the monster mural. The base camps are very important because, as I mentioned, you want to keep them close to where the production will be filming because you have all your production vehicles, and the trucks will hold the lighting equipment, sound equipment, props. Trailers could be dressing rooms, wardrobe trailers, makeup trailers. Now you're going to see, as we pull up here, on the left there's kind of a tented area, and then there's some shuttle buses right next to that tented area. Well, any tented area at a base camp is usually for catering, craft services, providing meals for the cast and crew members when they're going to take a break. So they're a very important part of the production process. Now, these bus shuttles are for The Voice. They transport the audience members to stages 30 and 31. You'll notice as we pull up, the craft services area has tables and chairs where the cast and crew can sit down and enjoy their meals. All right, now we're getting closer. Here you got that wonderful monster mural over on the right side. What Tristan Eaton did, he took elements of the productions these characters were in, whether a movie or a TV show, and he incorporated those different elements into each panel for the monster. Just brilliant what he put together there. So now we're able to just pull up a little bit more. We still have quite a bit of a traffic jam ahead of us here. You can see the east end of the metro sets. So this is quite a distance that we traveled west to east. And it looks as if they're doing a little pre-production on this east end. See that black curtained area there? It's like they built. We have sets that are in the metro sets, but if you need to build some other type of set, you can do that within the metro set area or the 6 Points Western area, the Little Europe area. So whatever you need for your project, you can create on the backlot. All right, you're getting a better look at stage 34. Now behind that is 30 and 31, used by The Voice. You can wave to our friends over there on the left side.
Hello.
Now that stage 34, just beyond the tram that's passing us, that often is used as a mill where you can build sets, but oftentimes too it's used for catering craft services where they set up tables and chairs inside so cast and crew can enjoy their meals. So lots of activity around this area because, as you know, Monday is the season finale of The Voice, so they're getting it all ready. A lot goes into it. We see kind of the final product when it airs. It is going live though Monday, but there's so much more involved because they have to rehearse. They have to figure out what type of set they're going to be singing on, what the background is going to look like. And the coaches are hands-on. They're right there, helping their singers be the very best they can. And hopefully, America votes for the best singer. But just take a look on the left. Look at all this activity around here. It's really amazing. You see a lot of golf carts making their way in and out. A golf cart is a very quick way to get around our about 400 acres studio. Here we go. Now, again, as you know, we try to use every available inch on the studio lot for projects. So far, coming on the back line, we've seen the west end of Metro, the east end. We've got the base camp area for The Voice on the left, stage 34, sound stages 30 and 31 on the left. But on the right, we saw our monster mural. I want to point out also on the right, look over here, kind of opposite car one, you have the Lion Estate markers from the movie Back to the Future, starring Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd, Leah Thompson. This year, 40th anniversary of when Back to the Future first opened in theaters on July 3rd, 1985. Now, the reason, again, we couldn't go into Metro where Courthouse Square is located because they're doing pre-production, but Courthouse Square, of course, used quite a bit in the movie Back to the Future. Also on your right, see this underwater tank? That's the bottom of the ocean, we like to call it, because you fill it with water, the actors jump in, and then the director, the crew, and most importantly, the camera stay dry as you film from the outside hatches of the underwater tank. So you're just getting a great lesson on all the different types of things we have in this area. Also on the left, stage 32-33, where Reba McEntire shoots her NBC comedy, Happy's Place.
Hey there, I'm Reba McEntire, and welcome to Happy's Place. We shoot our heartfelt comedy right here on Universal Live. Now, unlike most TV shows, we are a multi-camera sitcom, meaning several cameras capture every scene from a different angle all at the same time. Each episode takes about a week to make, from the first read-through of the script to rehearsals to taping in front of a live studio audience. And let me tell you, every step is a blast. Enjoy the ride, and we'll see you at Happy's Place.
Thank you, Reba. Her show airs Friday nights, NBC, 8 p.m. Well, while we were listening to Reba, we brought you into the Wild West All around us, 6 Points, our western area. The majority of the buildings are facades, front and side of the building, nothing inside or on the back. Here's a look at some of the great western stars that we have seen in this area over the years. Now, 6 Points takes us into Old Mexico, but here's some of the cowboys. So you can have two areas right next to each other, the West and Welcome to Old Mexico. This is where the music video for Camila Cabello's song, My Oh My filmed.
Oh.
How about that? And you might recognize this part of Old Mexico from the Paramount film Nacho Libre, starring Jack Black. So from this area of Old Mexico, I have to tell you, on the back lot, we travel a great distance in a very short amount of time. So from Old Mexico, Wild West, we're going to head out east to Amity Island, the small New England town that was terrorized by that ferocious shark in one of our biggest hits ever, Steven Spielberg's Jaws.
Yeah.
Now this year, the 50th anniversary of when the movie Jaws opened in theaters, it originally opened June 20th, 1975. The movie was supposed to open December 1974, but because they were having a lot of delays with the production, they didn't release Jaws until June 20th, 1975. And it actually helped out the movie because, remember, it takes place over the 4th of July holiday weekend. And the movie was a big hit. It's always been considered the first big summer blockbuster hit in theaters. The movie was nominated for 4 Academy Awards, including Best Picture of the Year. Well, it did not win Best Picture. However, it won Best Sound, Best Film Editing by Verna Fields, and Best Music Score by John Williams. Now, I mentioned earlier they were having a little trouble with the production. Well, it was basically with the mechanical shark, which Steven Spielberg named Bruce after one of his lawyers. So on the first day of filming the movie Jaws, the mechanical shark sank to the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. They did retrieve it, and the movie got made, and as you know, was a big hit. Now, they had 3 versions of the shark. You had the whole shark, and then you had a left side and the right side for filming purposes. All right, so here we go. Remember to please stay seated, and welcome to Amity Island. Over on the right, look how nice it is this afternoon at Amity Island. Uh-oh. There's that sound. There's that music. Shark in the water. Did you catch that? They just told the diver to get out of the water. Oh, there he is. Officer George, get out of the water. Shark going under. Headed right to you. Look out. Look out. Too late. Poor Officer George.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh,
anyways.
Okay, we're clearing the area. We're going to stay on the upper dock. Safer for us. Oh, look at the lower dock is smoking. The other lower dock is moving. The gas hose is loose. If there are sparks, there's going to be a fire. Oh, boy.
Oh, nice. All right. That's all right. Oh, God. Son of a God.
So this movie did film on location on the eastern part of the United States near the Martha's Vineyard area. Remember, taking place over 4th of July. See how our sets are decorated? That would be part of the production design, set decoration. Looking at the sets, you might feel like you're in Cabot Cove, Maine. Well, you would be correct. This area also used for the late great Angela Lansbury's hit CBS show, Murder, She Wrote, had a very successful 12-year run as a series on television. Well, at this point, we're about halfway through, so how about that? I'll remind everyone, please remain seated during the entire tour. Studio private property. Anytime during the tour, you drop your phone. Just cannot wait to use the restroom. Pull the red cord to get my attention. I will be back to assist you. Now, remember, we travel fast, so we are now in Old Mexico, the most quiet location. Okay, just forget what I've said. So much for quiet. You hear that thunder? I see lightning flashing also. We have a big storm rolling in. You know, I think that storm's getting closer. Thunder's louder. Oh, there's the rain. Well, that means the storm is now sitting right on top of us. As I'm watching the rain come down, it's looking to me as if the rain is getting much, much heavier. Not a good sign, folks. That was a very big boomer. Say. Now I hear kind of a rumbling sound. Very dim. Anyone else hear it? Sounds like it's getting closer. What is that sound? Or flash flood. Left side, flash flood. Okay, cover. Oh, gallons of recycled water being released from the tanks. Right up on top of that hill, water comes down the hill, and then it goes right back up again. We swept out of this section of Old Mexico.
Yeah, it's cool.
Deja vu for us. Coming back into that other section of Old Mexico. Now, since it is the 50th anniversary of Jaws, we're going to give you another look at Amity Island, bird's eye view, coming up on the right. Steven Spielberg, instrumental in helping us get the Jaws attraction for our studio tour.
The Jaws ride was almost the inevitable result of the size of the box office when Jaws first opened in June of 1975. And that was really the first time I ever got involved in the creation of a ride. It was a great honor to be invited into a creative circle of tremendous designers at Universal. They were trying to figure out how to replicate what the movie had done to audiences in a real way by building a physical shark that would come out of the water and terrify tourists as they were sitting in the tram. And the most amazing thing about the Jaws ride is it is exactly as it was from the time it was first placed on the Universal lot. There have been tweaks, of course, over the years, but it is essentially what the designers and myself all envisioned and created. I'm done bashing the shark. Thank you, Jaws, for everything you've done for me. But I will say, consistently, the shark did work much better on the tour than it did in the Atlantic Ocean in 1974.
Thank you, Mr. Spielberg. Folks, I want to point out over here on the left, the entrance to Colonial Street. This is where the 1989 Tom Hanks film, The Burbs film. Today, they're doing some pre-production there. This street, for 8 seasons, known also as Wisteria Lane, on the ABC Touchstone television series, Desperate Housewives. Well, we are currently on Steven Spielberg Drive. We have a long relationship with this Academy Award-winning director. Goes all the way back to the earliest days of our studio tour.
My entire career began with my relationship with Universal Studios just as a high school kid on a tour bus. Remember, in those days, there weren't trams, there were buses called the Gray Line Tour Bus. And I was so excited and thrilled to be on the lot. It was my first time ever on a movie studio lot. And during a bathroom break, I hid in the bathroom. And when everybody left to get back on the bus, I waited another 15 minutes until I'm sure the bus left. And then I had the entire lot to myself that day. And in those days, movie lots were so crowded because all movies were made on film lots. Today they're made all over the world, on locations, but most of it was focused in those days, in the 60s, on the film lots.
Thank you again, Mr. Spielberg. Okay, folks, get your cameras out. Coming up on the left, after we turn, a row of great picture cars. Picture cars, any vehicle used in production. Now, you will see some on both sides, but focus first on the left. The first vehicle is the original Glamour Tram. That's what our studio tour vehicle looked like when the tour originated July 15, 1964. There's a gyrosphere from Jurassic World, Fast and Furious vehicles. But don't forget the right side. There's some very cool picture cars there.
Harry Potter.
For us this afternoon, around the corner, we do have our scale replica of LA's iconic landmark, the Hollywood sign, all decorated for the holidays. You know, a classic film from Hollywood shot right here at Universal in this area. The movie, Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. Over on the right, two of the most iconic sets ever created. The Bates Motel up above, Norman Bates' house. Well, look, that car belongs to Marion Crane. Look who's speaking out of cabin one. That's Norman Bates. Let's take you up by Norman's house, coming up at the top of the hill on the left. This year is the 65th anniversary of when the movie Psycho first opened in theaters in 1960. Movie starring Anthony Perkins as Norman Bates and Janet Leigh as Marion Crane. Now, do you recall the brilliant film score that Bernard Herrmann created for the movie? He only used the string section of the orchestra for the film score.
That's a violin.
It's iconic. Huh?
Yep.
There's all the cars again.
Now around the corner, well, this is something totally different. One of the most spectacular sets ever created, the airplane crash site set from Steven Spielberg's blockbuster Paramount film, War of the Worlds, starring Tom Cruise and Dakota Fanning. The airplane crash site set is a perfect example of a set that is all designed around a vision that Steven had.
And for them to sit down to talk about War of the World, I thought, what if the 747 goes down right in a big neighborhood? Because it's just something you don't see.
To your left, this is a real airplane. Oh, but it was an old airplane, not going to fly anymore, purchased for approximately $60,000 from an airport in Mojave, California. Victorville. They sectioned off the plane at the airport, and then flatbed trucks transported it to the backlot for the filming. Earlier this year, the MTV Music Video Awards were handed out. The big winner, Ariana Grande's Brighter Days Ahead. Some of that music video filmed up here at the crash site. We're about 15 minutes from the end of the tour. We'll be returning to the theme park shortly. Remember to pull the emergency cord if you need assistance and remain seated at all times. From the crash site, we go to Jupiter's Claim, a set used in Jordan Peele's movie Nope. Now in Nope, Jupiter's Claim is over, a UFO hotspot. Here is the film's director-writer, Academy Award winner, Mr. Jordan Peele.
Movie magic only happens when a team of collaborators, often in the hundreds, work together to take an impossible notion and bring it to life. This is Jupiter's Claim, a nostalgic, small-time Southern California amusement park owned by former child star Ricky Juke Park. Over there, look into the winking well and have your picture taken just like the kids in that old 90s movie Kid Sheriff. That's what this whole place is loosely based on. Remember that one? No? Why? A little further down, you can see the brand new Star Lasso experience. Built to showcase an unbelievable new live show. It's not looking so live anymore. Anyway, behind this Hollywood fantasy of a gold rush frontier town lies a sinister secret. It is smack dab in the center of the UFO hotspot. Welcome to the world of no.
Well, that's our cue to get out. We've shown you wonderful filming locations all over the studio lot, front lot, back lot, and by taking our world famous Universal Studios tour this afternoon, all of you have become part of our history. Congratulations. And I'll tell you, you are in excellent company.
I've been on that tour so many times since I was a kid, and I just love it every time.
The first time I ever went on the Universal lot, we did the tour.
I grew up in Los Angeles, and that was like the place to go and see Jaws.
I got my introduction to Universal Studios through the tour, and so then to be in the movies and seeing the trams drive by, it's very overwhelming.
One of the coolest things actually about shooting for Universal is sometimes you get to shoot on the lot, and then you look over and it's like there's Jaws, or like there's the flash flood, and all those trams are riding around. It's the coolest thing ever.
1979. Back then, tram drivers were a little reckless, a little crazy. There was no restriction on cars going anywhere. We used to drive all over and kind of duel with them back and forth.
I have so many amazing memories of the lot when we were shooting Back to the Future.
Being here brings me back in time, I'll tell you that.
The tram would come through, the tourists would see Michael J. Fox, and they're taking their camera snap. So one day, Michael J. Fox had his own camera, and every time the tourists came through snapping their pictures, he ran out and he started taking pictures of them.
Well, folks, for over 110 years, Universal Studios has been thrilling audiences around the globe. Our founder, Carl Laemmle, had a vision. He wanted to make movies that would make audiences laugh or cry or sit on the edge of their seats. He understood the power of storytelling on the big screen and the excitement of going behind the scenes, what that can inspire. This excitement of going behind the scenes raised to a new level when the current studio tour opened on July 15, 1964. We thank each and every one of you for taking the world famous studio tour. To our past members, thank you very much for being with us. Not a past member, head up to Universal Box Office. Find out how to upgrade today's ticket to an annual pass. And be sure to download the Universal Studios Hollywood app to get details on all of the events happening during holidays at Universal, including story time with Cindy Lou Who in English and Spanish. With the app, you can also confirm park hours. This evening, we're open till 6 p.m. And if you'd like to purchase any of the movies and TV shows you saw on the tour, visit the website www.uphe.com, or today, ask at any of the retail stores. Don't forget, opening next year, Fast and Furious, Hollywood Drift roller coaster. Oh, it's going to be awesome. Speaking of awesome, please give our driver, Diego, a big round of applause. He did a terrific job. Thank you, Diego. Now, when we get to unload, we're going to open those gates. Please watch arms, legs, fingers, toes when the gates open. Watch your step. Please drop 3D glasses in the bins. Thank you for doing that. I'll be in the area if you have any questions. If you need a restroom, walk to the other end of the sidewalk, left-hand side, opposite the escalator that you came down on.